Hello.
Hi, చెప్పండి.
Hi, this is Kanan.
Okay. Hi, Kanan. Can you briefly about yourself?
Hi. So I'm currently a master's student, and I have my background in finance. So I did my bachelor's in business administration and master's in finance. Currently, I'm pursuing master's in IT. Yeah. So my exposure to computer science is pretty minimal right now.
Okay, so why do you want to learn Python? That's a good question.
So basically, any kind of financial basically analysis requires a lot of data management and data analysis, and eventually the companies are moving towards Python for that purpose, and so I wanted to learn it.
Got it.
So I can
you're a fresher.
so I can know the Python and apply the financial analysis perspective to it, maybe calculations and statistical calculations, and it will help me in a company and capital market analysis.
Okay, sure. So should I wait for others, or can I go ahead? Satish. Oh, so
Wait.
Nirmal Yan. So can you go ahead?
2 minutes.
Okay. Nirmal Yan, can you brief about yourself?
Yeah, hi. This is Nirmal, and I'm doing my master's here, and
Okay.
I have some experience in Python.
Okay.
And I'm looking to learn some advanced concepts here.
Okay. Sure. So you already have some experience. What kind of things you have done?
It's mostly related to coursework. I have some experience in related to data science and machine learning, and I'm looking to learn more of the development stuff in Python.
Okay. So what you did in data science and machine learning?
Related to pandas and NumPy and machine learning libraries like scikit-learn and some PySpark development as well.
Okay. So what exactly you are planning to learn here? Is it a revisit or?
I'm planning to learn like web development stuff, building APIs and
Okay.
using Django or something like that.
Understood.
And with the advanced concepts as well, like learn more about classes, object-oriented programming, and everything.
Okay. Sure. Satish, can I start?
Start.
Okay. So team, like, so I am Uday. You can call me Uday. I'm a Python developer for the past, say, 10 plus years. For this past 10, 11 years, I'm working on Python for different kinds of environments, be it like automations or web applications, as I mentioned, or REST APIs, whatsoever. So all these things I did. So first of all, if you want to know like why we need to learn Python, so there is a plethora of evidence like for you why Python is so useful and what kind of advantages you are gonna get. So who am I and what I need to do means very simple. I will not go for any kind of bookish kind of knowledge, no PPTs, nothing. I will do entirely everything in Visual Studio Code, means one of the editors or IDEs, we say. So what I explained there, that you will have a quick glance here now. So if you all can confirm that you can see my screen, can you all acknowledge that you can see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Sure. So first and foremost, I will try to emphasize that the agenda of this particular meeting is like, I will, for the first 5 minutes, I will explain like why Python is needed, what is the needed, how the course content gonna be, so how we can tailor ourselves as per your specific needs. And in the next 5 minutes, like your expectations or any doubts, and in the next 5 minutes, maybe we'll conclude. I will not take like 10 to 12 minutes max, that's it. So I try to make the things as fast as possible. So to make it easy for you to understand, I think you already know some Python, but still I'm showing you the current stats and the figures. As everyone believe in IEEE or GitHub, or like developer surveys, I am taking those stats as an example. If you see, as per the IEEE standards in 2012, you can see the most thought out language is Python. So because be it in terms of the job market, be it in terms of the research market or everywhere. So though you are like in your masters, you can have your projects being done in Python itself. That is one advantage. And it would be a stepping stone for your next journey subsequently. So that is also okay. So if you generally see languages trends, over a period of time, you can see that Python is booming further. So if in this rate, if you are going, if you are learning Python as a language, at least you will have your career for the next 5 years. So in this rapidly changing environment, we cannot promise like 10 or 20 years, but it is definitely like another C++ or Java. So it's gonna be for the next 5 years at least. So I would definitely say it's a promising language. You may ask me, so why can't I learn Java or C, which is like similar? So I would say simply that the rate at which you are learning a Java will take more time compared to here you can learn in a very less time. So the design patterns and all those things in Java, it's a very big portion. So I would say like it will take at least 2 to 3 years for you to master it. Whereas in 3 to 4 months, you can master it much better in Python. Mastery, I'm saying. Our course will not go for 3 to 4 months, don't worry. But like what I'm trying to say, if you do your effort, so you can go like that. That's what I'm trying to say. And coming to the ranking history, so over a period of time, you can notice that the Python's ranking is every time almost in the par. So it is going every time. See, now it is the ramp one compared to C language. Means there are different indexes which are helping to come to the conclusions about something. And next, if you see further about the other language, if you see, so JavaScript is needed for the front end. So that's why whenever you're working on front end, so you work with any other frameworks, be it Angular or React or something, but you need JavaScript. That's for sure. So slowly that kind of things are going away. Maybe there's a talk like in Python next version. So we can do even for the front end programming because they creating the web assembler. So which is there almost in all languages, they are trying parallelly to add to the WebAssembly, means creating the front-end code from backend itself. So already some kind of modules are there, so which are doing it, but things gonna be much more better. So, and so these are all different comparisons. This is a simple illustrative way to show you. So if you want to, tear something, there are multiple ways of doing. You see how complicated C++ is, how simple JavaScript is, how simple Java and others are there. How simple, the Python is. In Python, what you can notice is that you have batteries embedded. Means like instead of you doing, there is something else for you to help to you to do on your own. So that's the beauty of it. So what we can do here in programming, so generally there will be different styles of programming. I'll start like how to write a small program. I will show you that. There you will better understand. But like here to show that. So what I'm trying to say, so like in a procedural language like C language, I would simply say, I will not make too much of noise. I will simply say that in Python, it is a multi-paradigm. Simply to say, if I write a small program, so for writing a new program, we just like what are the file name and write .py extension. The moment I write, this is a file. And if you want to write a small program, we can write like hello world. That's it. It's a program. So nothing more is needed from it. So how to execute this program? You can go to the terminal and do it. I'll show you how to install this setup, how to make this setup and everything afterwards. But for now, be aware that, so I'm executing. So we need to go to the particular directory. So where this particular file is there and run it, or else copy the entire path and do. There are two ways. If I say Python space, I give the entire path, executed. Did you see it's saying hello world? So if you want to do the same thing in Java or C++, imagine the length of code that you need to write. So there is a lot of boilerplate, right? So if I'm speaking more of a programming jargon, so please feel free to stop me. Simply in a layman's word, I'm saying that you need to write a lot of code for things to happen in other languages. That's what makes it very unique in terms of this. So if you see in Python for the past 5 years, you can see the popularity has gone rapidly. So with Python, right now, there were a lot of packages involved. So the most popular packages are these. So I remember someone telling like, pandas or Django, all these things. So these were like the most famous packages. I think in the course content, we have all these things, right? So here the pandas is for the data analytics. Django is for web development. Even the Flask also for web development and REST APIs. NumPy also for the data analytics related, and Matplotlib for data visualization. So this is one of the user surveys, but Python is not just these things. We can do much more things. So there were a lot of things which we can do with Python. What all things we can do means what all things which can be done in other languages, the same thing we can do here. So that's why Python is called as a general purpose programming language. And if you go further, so first coming to the case of Python evolution and all these things, there are some basic questions. So which OS are we using? Based upon that, we need to have an installation. That's the very first time. First of all, I will tell you all the story, like how to install and all these things afterwards. Just imagine like, so earlier there used to be BASIC and COBOL and all these things. That was a different generation. From the moment C++ came, the programming computational ecosystem grown a lot, right? So C++ were the most fastest languages, even till date. But why people came out of it? Why people have seen for another language? Just because. So they are platform dependent. Means if you are developing for Win32, so that program will not work for Windows 64. So means even when within Windows ecosystem also, based upon the architecture, we need to write programming again. So if you want to create a product, you need to make changes to all these environments and then push. So it's kind of like, difficulty, right, for managing all the environments. So then that's why Java came to picture. Java is not as fast as C++, but it's almost the same. But what is the difference between Java and this? Java comes with like JDK, sorry. If you want to run any Java code anywhere, first you need to have some JDK software. If you write code once, you can, all missions it will work. Be it so Windows or be it Linux, be it your mobile, everywhere it works, right? That's what we are seeing in Android right now. Now, okay, Java is good. Then why people came to Python? So the here is like very precise, means very small number of lines, precise code, and it is same like Java. We have platform independent. Once you write a code, it will execute in Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever. Everywhere it will work. So that's a beauty of Python. Okay, platform independent like Java. Okay, and so everything is fine. But still, why people need to come extra? The extra thing Python offering is with less code. So just now I showed a typical hello world program. In one line, we can write a hello world, which is not possible in Java. In Java, we need to write, first we need to define a class. In that, we need to write a method. In that method, we need to write system.println, stdout, like println, everything we need to write. So no such structure is there, very simple. And on top of that, Python has a lot of modules for whatever the work that you want to do. So for everything, there is a module. Starting from, say, archaeology to astronomy to like biotechnology to like, cloud environment. So to everywhere. So there is no industry which has an exception. Wherever computational work can be done, all those things has a modules. Next, I will show you the list of modules which are supported and how Python is supporting them. So this is all about like what is Python, why Python, and all these things. So the next point I want to touch base is like, so what kind of code we can write? So just now I showed you how to write a simple hello world, right? Similarly, in programming, there will be 3 styles of programming. It is called as aspect oriented. First one is, means whatever you do on a pen and paper. So if you want to add 2 numbers, how you do it? Like this only, right? First you define A is equal to something, B equal to something, you add them. That is called as aspect oriented programming. So till now, only scripting language used to support it. So Python is called as like a scripting language on programming also. So here, so we can write like this also, or else we can write functions and write. That is called as function oriented programming. Like that also we can write, or else we can define a class and also write. That is object oriented programming. So every language will have some kind of constraints. So if you go for Go, everything should be in functions only. If you go to Java, everything we need to write in classes only. But in Python, there is no such limitation. If you want, you can write all in one or a mix and match everything as per your convenience. So that's a beauty. And we have a lot of good syntax to make the things easy. So you see, this is one line string. So just one syntax to reverse a string. So you can just imagine like how things works. And on top of whatever you're doing, so we also have something called as interactive mode. Means till now I showed you how to run a program, right? Similarly, if you type Python in the interactive mode, means any terminal, it will go to the interactive mode. Means without writing a new file, program, everything, I can do everything here itself. Say n1 is equal to something, n2 is equal to something else. I can do like n1 plus n2. Simple. So this is called as 𝐅𝐞𝐚, so or like interactive mode, which is used for offline analysis. But if you want to write a real good program, you need to write in the program, script mode or program mode. So Python supports all these things here. Now coming lastly to the course content of what was about to be delivered to you. So typically I made a course content in this way. So of course, so there is another course content which was given to you, but this is how I do in general. So initially I start with like the dev setup, which I'll make you ensure that you all install so Python and all the access, everything is there. Then I will show like what is the introduction of Python, so differences between the previous version and current version, the basic grammar like built-in functions, keywords, all these things. Then we will focus on the arithmetic operations, string operations, the language components, means like so the relational, logical, all kinds of operations, conditions and loops. So recently we have some kind of operators called as walrus and others. So how they are working, structural pattern matching, how it is working. So in other languages you have switch case. It is called a structural pattern matching here. What is the difference between a traditional switch and here? That you will understand here. And the exception handling, different ways of exception handling, how to create your own exceptions, warnings, tracebacks. So all these things we will see. Then in terms of debugging, so there are 3 ways of debugging. So when you are in a Linux box, you don't have a GUI, right? So command line debugging, and like you have an IDE, how to debug there. Then like in terms of collections, means the data structures which Python has introduced, and the functional programming. Trust me, you will really love the functional programming in Python because it has a plethora of things which were not there in other languages, or it is on par and equal to other traditional functional oriented languages. Then I will introduce something called as decorator design pattern. So in other languages, it's very difficult to understand. It will take a lot of time for you to understand what is a decorator design pattern. That was simply made easy in Python. So that's one uniqueness. Then we'll see about the iterables, iterators, generators, coroutines. So, and like, async IO. So all these things I will see, and different Python modules. So I have included the most common Python modules which are needed. But like, if you want any specific, you can ask me, I can add those too. So, and like the file systems, different kinds of file systems, structured, unstructured, semi-structured, and like the logging we will discuss. So this, because like typical programmer, when you go to your real world, you need all these things. And if you go to the object-oriented programming, so what kind of things are there? How, see, object-oriented programming of Python is slightly different from object-oriented of other languages. So how unique is there, how different it is. And you don't have the hell of, pointers, etc. So that's a beauty here. And Python supports certain things which other languages doesn't support, be it the multiple inheritance. So it will blow your mind if you came from other languages here. So, and like the code quality, be it like the unit testing. So there you will be learning about like mocking, so performance testing. So all kinds of things you will learn there. Then we'll focus on the regular expressions and web services. So how to create a web service, how to consume web service. Means how to create a REST API, how to consume a REST API. Both I will explain. So I'll work with like a couple of things, and how to typically do a web scraping. I will initiate that because web scraping itself is a very big thing, which you should be aware of, like, the front end to be aware of, common scrapping. So that's why I will introduce you how to do. Then you will go ahead. Then finally, we'll discuss about the data science related modules. So here, when creating and consuming, and so creating web apps, so that's where you will learn about the Django there. So here you will learn about the static, so NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, etc. So hope this course content suffices everything in a structured way. I created all these things over a period of time, and forgot to tell you that this is my 175th batch, I guess. So because like those many batches I have completed in Python for the past 6 years. So hopefully I will ensure that, so what are the word you came with, I will ensure that you will be satisfied and go. But what is that I expect is like, if I tell something, you should do today, that day itself. If you make 1 day late, obviously the amount will be more, right? So you need to spare more time for the assignments. If you complete any day's work on the day itself, it would be great. So that's it from my side. Now the floor is open for questions.
Hi, I was just having one question. So we will be catering more of the practical coding aspect, right?
Exactly. Everything would be practical. 90% practical. So 10% will be theory. Means when I'm telling itself, I will tell theory. That's it. So there won't be anything specific.
Okay, and for the next class, we need to download. You mentioned that we are supposed to download the program, right? So we will
Yes,
require that
I
for the
will tell
next.
you if you have a good internet speed. So I can show you in your systems itself how to do the installations. So how to download, where to download, everything. If you have bad internet connection, I will give some links. You can make it downloaded and be ready.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
So, yes, please.
Yeah, thank you for explaining. And I don't have any doubts as of now.
Sure.
And is it fine? Can we get this course list or something? The summary outline.
So you want the course content?
Yes. Just
Sure,
the
definitely.
outline that you're
We can do
showing.
that. Yeah, sure, definitely.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So, okay, Satish. So we are done for now. So, okay, team then. So we can meet again. So Satish will let you know about the next steps when we can start the actual class. Okay. The class will be typically for 1 to 1.5 hours. Okay. So are you all comfortable at in the evening time? Means what time zone you both are?
So I am in EST right now.
Okay.
I'm in EST as well. So.
Okay. How about 5 in the EST? 5 p.m. EST.
5 p.m. EST?
Exactly.
Yeah, that should be okay with me.
Yeah, probably that should be the time. So we may do, but let me come back. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, team.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.